Hello everybody, I'm going to show you now how to make a Vietnamese coconut tempeh curry. I have no idea in the world what I'm doing now. I'm going to go to buy the ingredients. Now I'm going to sing a song now while I'm doing my little bit of cooking and my rice. And now the summer is coming. I know we're in lockdown, but the summer is coming, so I'm going to sing a song about the summertime. Chopping up the potato and sweet potato, and I'm putting it in the baking tray. And now I'm going to get my coconut milk, and I'm going to mix that up with soya sauce, and there's 4 tablespoons of that. And I never heard of it or thought that existed in my life before. And after that then
I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Padraig Howley. Sing in Step with Padraig is what he's called on Instagram. And little did Padraig know, I'd say a few weeks ago when he went on Instagram, that he'd have over 70,000. I'm looking here on Instagram. I think it's over 70,000. He's heading for Croke Park numbers now, or the Kilfenora mark, maybe 150 times that capacity. It's some amount of followers. Your Twitter handle, Padraig, before I talk to you, it's you on a journey to get fit and sing a few songs along the way. Daily goal of 10,000 steps. Attempting to go vegan for 21 days. Staying positive. This has been an amazing journey, Padraig. You've got national acclaim. You've been on national media, and now you've really made it because you're on Radio Kerry. But tell us, what's the journey been like?
Unbelievable. I couldn't explain it. I couldn't explain it. This thing just mushroomed out of, me, someone said to me yesterday, your pain has worked out for you well, you know what I mean? That, you've got great attention over having pain. I said, I'd rather get rid of the pain now any day than being stuck in the media, you know what I mean? But it's unbelievable. Sure, I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it, how it happened, when this started, Eileen Clare, she's a holistic, she has her own practice, and I was down and out with pain. Jesus, it never went away. And my wife said to me, ring Eileen and see what she'll say to you. So I rang Eileen, and Eileen said, well, send me over a hair sample because we can't visit any place. So hair sample I sent over, anyhow. And the following day she rang me and she says, you're in a bad state, your nervous system isn't working properly, and she said, I think you need to change your diet. And she says, I'm advising you to go off dairy and see how you get on and see will it help you. So I left down the phone anyhow, and Tara, my daughter, and my wife Geraldine, they were sitting at the table, and I said, Eileen Clare is telling me let's do up dairy. And Tara said, are you going to give it up? I said, look, if it's going to help me, I'll try and do it, because I'd be very traditional, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be into fancy stuff. So, and then Tara said to me, she says, do you ever think of going vegan? And be quite honest, I said, what is vegan? So then she started explaining what vegan was, and she said, look, she says, these are all the things you can have, but you didn't tell me all the things I couldn't have, you know what I mean? So I said, look, I'll have a go at it, but I said, I need help. And so I said, will you help me? And Tara said, you know what I'll do is I'll set up an Instagram page for you. Now, I knew as much about Instagram as a cow knew about a holiday, you know what I mean? Nothing about it. So she set up this Instagram page anyhow, and so I did start going off the dairy, and I said I'll try the vegan. So that, and on the Tuesday night then, that'd be last Tuesday week, Tara said to me, you have 365 followers that. I said, isn't that great? I have one for every day of the year, so someone will help me. Mother of Moses, the following day, just absolutely went berserk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't understand at that time either, you know what I mean? But it's just crazy, crazy.
Yeah. When you say pain, Padraig, what pain were you in?
The pain started down my left side, down my hip and down my left leg. And then I used to go back up in the evening time, back up to my lower back and up across my back, up to my shoulder. And I have gone, no fair play to my doctors and that, they've done everything possible to see what's wrong with me. And they can't find anything. You know what I mean? They can't find anything. I have done MRIs and ultrasounds, and I have 2 very good GPs, they know well, and they've done everything possible. Even during the lockdown, they got me in for treatment. And I was over in the clinic in Galway one day, and this, I can't think of his name now, he's a foreign name, he said, wait for the results of this this scan out to see. And he came out to me, I have good news for you. He says, your vital organs are working perfectly. And I said to him, but what about the pain? And he, he had no answer. And I was actually driving home and I said, Jesus, in my head this is wrong. Like, is it possible I have no pain at all? You know what I mean? By Christ, I knew at 5 o'clock in the evening I had pain, like, you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable, like, I haven't slept properly in 12 months, So, but, Eileen Clare reckons it's my nervous system. I've blocked nerves, and unfortunately, no one can help me at the moment, because everything's locked down, so you can't go in anywhere.
But you're doing it for yourself, Padraig. Tell us, before I ask you how you are now, in relation to Instagram, like how technically proficient were you? Because during this and talking to listeners, a lot of them have got better at using the computer and maybe using WhatsApp and using Zoom. But Instagram, I don't know, like do a lot of maybe of the older generation start using Instagram. You're kind of an outlier there. So are you technically proficient or were you good at the technical stuff?
Absolutely not. I have no idea in the world how to use it. I can barely send a text message, like, When people started sending me messages, I was trying to text them back. You know what I mean? But sure, it could take me 5 minutes to send it. I could delete it in when I'd ever done, like, before I send it, like, I'd be pressing the wrong buttons. No. What I have done in the last 10 days is, I'm starting to learn how to do things. I'm getting a little bit faster, and I'm getting, I don't know how long it's going to take me, like, but it's a whole new, different world to me, like, you know what I mean? I know nothing about emails or anything like that, like nothing, absolutely nothing.
I'd say, Padraig, in a few months you'll be hanging out with the Google fellas with the you'll have the hipster hairstyle and everything, and you'll be hanging out with them. But I must say to you, Padraig, I came across because my wife is obsessed with you. I'll say, like, I can hear your voice when I'm going to bed at night. You're coming on, you're telling her all about these recipes. Tell us what you do on the videos. Give us an example.
Sure, look at, like, I decided, like, the happy pair, those two boys, like, I remember I joined a swimming club. I can't even swim, but just Tara decided to bring me over to Spanish Point, and this June Curtin, like, the poor woman, like, she had a tragedy, but she started this swimming club. And so I went over one Sunday morning, and lo and behold, like, I went into the sea, and I dipped under the water, like, Christ, and I came out, I got relief from the pain, you know what I mean? And I said to Tara, this is unbelievable, and the pain is stay away for a good while. So we go over there, like, so then June then decided, like, that we went to Galway one day, and she asked me, would I go over for a swim, and then we went up to Skerries one morning at 6 o'clock, and those boys from the happy pair, they were there as well. And so I sang a song for him, like, Jesus, I was thinking about it now, like, it was Team and Ryan above in Skerries at 6:30 in the morning singing a song, like, we should have been locked up, like, in that talking in here, like, think about it. But anyhow, so that's how I got to know them. And as soon as I went on this journey, like, they got onto me, like, because they're vegan as well, and I have their cookbook now, like, So I decided, like, that you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cook these things. So just right funny, like, sure, I couldn't pronounce some of the names of the stuff, like, I'd be a bacon and cabbage man, like, or a pork chop, or a few, that's what I had, like, but these recipes, like, but anyhow, I started doing it, and people actually liked it, like, sure, I probably make a hams and most of them, like the night before last, I was doing a katsu curry. Yeah, not last night. No, I had enough for last night. I cooked too much as well this year. I nearly cook enough for 7 or 8 people, like, not knowing. But I cooked this katsu curry, and when I got it in the sea, and I had it in the plate, and I was right proud of myself. And then I looked at the recipe book, and I saw the photograph, and I said, Christ, that doesn't look the same. So I was fine, and I went back again. Geez, hadn't I 2 of the ingredients left out of it? I had the curry powder left out, and I had something left out. I can tell you how good I am at cooking, like, But look at people and I apologize to people, like, that I didn't do it right. Look at the reaction I got was unbelievable. Like, people telling me, don't worry about that. But look at. So that's what I'm doing. I'm picking up little bits of recipes, like, and I'm trying to do it. Now, Tara and my wife, they won't help me. They won't help me. You have to do it yourself, like, you know what I mean? And it's bad enough cooking it, but all the saucepans and the pans you have to use, Christ, I spend more time washing up than I do fucking cooking.
Well, at least you're washing up and you're not leaving it after, so that's good.
I have always got, like, clean the place after you.
Yeah, so that's one part of it. You're doing the cooking, you're demonstrating in a way. You're better than any celebrity chef I've seen. But then you also add in another element. You sing, you lilt, you dance, and you bring your heritage in there, don't you? Because I know your daughters are involved in the Kilfenora Ceilidh band, aren't they? And
Yes, right,
you
that's right, yeah.
you would have been like a lot of Kerry people now, back a generation or so ago, where they had the kind of a rambling house. That was kind of in your house, wasn't it? Your
Oh yeah,
parents' house.
our house was my home house. I just live across the road from my home house, but our home house was there was music there 6 nights a week. When I was a child, when I was young, like growing up, like and there were people came down to learn how to dance. They did the high call cap and they did set dancing, and and my father, that's how I heard the lilting. My father he used to play tin whistle, but he'd also lilt, and that's how I picked it up. That's how I picked up lilting, like, that's how that happened, like, but we just call it, we would call it a dancing house, like, what I mean. My mother, God rest her, she'd make griddle bread then. She was a great cook herself. She'd make griddle bread for the people and people that have their own jam. You have you have the marmalade jam and you have the strawberry jam, like, it was just, but no one had anything that time, like, what I mean. People are very well off now. They don't realize it, like, we had absolutely nothing growing up, like, what I mean.
But
My father,
I suppose you take that for granted in a way, Padraig. You're so used to that, and maybe when someone comes to house, they might do a little party piece or whatever. But not a lot of people are used to that anymore, and I suppose that's how you're connecting too on Instagram. You're bringing that past, the present, through a modern means, I suppose.
yeah, I suppose that's true. I really believe I don't know what the reason for it is, like, but that was part of our culture, and me singing, like, I'd be humming away and singing away every day. You know what I mean? And I take no notice of that. That's just something I do. It isn't that I stand up singing a song. I'm always doing, or you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'd often pull my wife up, like, and say, that's a bit of a set, like, you know what I mean. If Care FM was on the traditional program, like, but that just happens. That's not planned or anything. That just happens. It's a bit of fun.
Yeah,
You know,
it's in your bones. Will you sing us a song, will you?
Oh Jesus, me, I enjoy. Yeah, I will. I'll sing you a song. Yeah, I'll sing a bit of it. One pleasant evening in the month of June, as I was sitting with my glass and spoon, a small bird sat on an ivy bush, and the song he sang was the jug of punch. Tooraloo, tooraloo-lay, tooraloo, tooraloo-lay. A small bird sat on an ivy bush, and the song he sang was the jug of punch.
Woo!
No, that's
Good man, Arios. Geez, you have a great voice, Padraig. Did you ever sing in pubs or take it on, or decide to take it on the road?
The funny part about it, like, me and my singing, like, for years and years, if you were in a pub, I'd be nervous to say, if I was in a pub and, there'd be a sing-song going on, like, and people didn't know that I'd be able to sing, but if it was coming close to me, and if I was going to be asked to sing, I'd be gone. I'd get up and I'd leave. I'd get out of the way. People think that's hilarious, like, but that is the truth. Like, I'd be a bit nervous about it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I should look at, but like, and here I am now, like, singing for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
I think the mind would be going with me, like,
far from it, I'm afraid. The lilting as well. I can even hear it in your voice the way you talk. But the Clare people have that too, don't they? That kind of musicality in their voices.
Yeah. And the thing about lilting, like, lilting has got very popular in the last 10 years, like, it's not the very same lilting as I do. Like, I do that the old traditional lilting, like, but like, there's a lot of young people lilting now. Like, there's a competition now in Kyoto, like, for lilting. You know what I mean? And that has brought young lads on, like, and young girls, like, doing lilting, like, and some of them are absolutely excellent at it, like, you know what I mean? They're excellent, like, But
what's the difference, Padraig, between the traditional and?
They have a different. They use their mouth differently, like, nowadays than what I do, like, you know what I mean. They kind of, it's hard to explain it. You have to hear it, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just a different version of doing it, like, you know what I mean. You see, the lilting I do is for dancing. You know what I mean? It's so, you know what I mean. And that's what the lilting was in our time, like, if you didn't have a tin whistle, or we couldn't afford musical instruments that time, like, so my father lilt. But like, if we didn't lilt properly, you'd be told where to go if you weren't doing it right for the set dancers, like, And these set dancers, like, they want proper music.
Serious stuff. Come here. I suppose, you know, getting back to the whole Instagram and talking about being a vegan for 21 days, you are a beef farmer. So it's kind of a bit ironic. And how has that been going down with your farmer friends?
Oh yeah, I get a lot of slagging, like, you know what I mean. I get a lot of slagging, but you look at it's all good humor, like, you know what I mean. But I do, and the trouble is, like, I mean, I work for myself, and I work for a lot of farmers as well. You know what I mean? So I get a lot of slagging from, like, you know, Jesus, what are you at now? You know what I mean? For God's sake, like, I mean, you know, you're turning away from us, like, you know what I mean? You know, but it's good fun. It's good fun.
And has it helped? You
It has
mentioned the
helped.
pain. You mentioned the pain there
It
at the start.
has
Has it
helped.
helped?
I won't say the pain is gone, but I have more energy. I have more energy, like, I mean, you know, I told someone the other day, like, I mean, you know, I'd be in bed at 9 o'clock every night. Last night I was out walking at 9:30. You know what I mean? Which was absolutely unbelievable, like, you know. And I slept until 5:30 this morning. No, that's a help. That is really a big help to me, like, you know. But and I've don't you know the problem I have? I'm supposed to drink 4 pints of water every day. Geez, I'm finding that awful hard. Christ Almighty, like, that's a pure torture to me. You know what I mean?
Would you
I
be
do
a
my
pint
best.
of milk, man? Would you have been?
I would,
Or a
but
cup
see, I
of
can't.
tea?
Oh, yeah, have the cup of tea, but I can't have milk now either. You see, I'm off that now as well. Like, you mean, so if I'm having tea now, it's black tea. You know what I mean? So, and people slag me about that as well. I went over the Armada Hotel in Spanish Point. This June Curtin, who was friendly with, she treated me to a vegan dinner. You know, she collected last Sunday, and when I went over waiting for her, she came down to meet me, herself and her mother, Claire, and you'd have a cup of tea, so I had a black tea. But her partner was passing. He said, "Do you want to drop milk in that?" He says to me, like, you know what I mean, just to really rub it into me altogether, and I'm trying to drink black tea, you know. But that's the kind of a banter I get, like, you know, which is good.
What about all these celebrities that are following you? You've our own Kieran Donaghy and Roz Purcell said you're the wholesome content we need right now.
That's right. Oh, look at. I can't answer anything like that because I don't know what they're following me for. Number one, like, you know, I don't know why they're following me. Like, you know, so, Jesus, I'm just an ordinary person, like, you know.
I can see after this interview that the hat you're wearing, you should make copies of them because I'd say they'll sell mad. Merchandise is next.
You see the hat I'm wearing?
Yeah.
That comes from. They're a company called Shit Guinness. That's what they're called. And they sent that to me there the other day. 2 hats to me the other day. That's why I went on, because I went for a walk. But that's why I'm wearing that though. Like, you know what I
mean? Before I leave you go, because there's so much, I recommend anyone to check out your videos on Instagram. They're absolutely brilliant. There's a real feel-good vibe about them as well. You've really connected with everyone, especially all these young up-and-coming bloggers and everything. You're a big hit with them. But the nature side is important, and animals are important to you. And I've seen this as well. We did a program on birds, and it got a massive reaction. I feed the birds myself, and I see you're looking after them at the moment. Nature and animals are very important to you.
Oh yeah, we have to go back to that. Like, you know, so we've lost that. You know what I mean? We have lost that, and I hate it. Like, you know, we should go back to nature, because nature is, you know, there'll be no coronavirus like in nature. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The birds now. I was watching 2 pigeons yesterday evening, and they're gathering the twigs to make their nest, like, you know. And I said, how many young people don't even know what's going on? You know what I mean? And they should. And the parents should tell their children, like, bring them out and show them, you know, what nature's about. You know, I look forward to the cuckoo coming. I look forward to the swallows coming, like that. I mean, I actually, you know, I mean, and here we are, like, and we have to have a sat. If I had to go to Killarney in the morning, I'd have a sat nav. A swallow can leave Africa and come back to the very same nest in Kilfenora. Yeah. I mean, sure, who do we think we are? We think we're smarter. We're not ready at all.
Amazing. Last question. What are you cooking tonight now? Is it a Vietnamese curry or something?
You know what I'm going to do tonight now is I'm going to do a broccoli soup. I'm not going to cook in a big dinner. I'm going to do broccoli soup, because I have to go to Innis now, like, you mean, and I have 2 guests to make before 6 o'clock, and the farmer will shoot me in the morning if I haven't ready for him. So I'm going to have a small one. So I'm going to have soup this evening.
Brilliant. Well, enjoy that, and we look forward to seeing the video of you make it and eat it as well, and make sure you wash up as well after. We must thank Tara, your daughter, because Tara is a mighty woman in her own right, a very talented singer and all that. So we know where she got it. And she's been a driving force for this, which has been brilliant. But Padraig, thanks a million for coming on and joining me. And you might finish out with a lilt.
I'll do small. Okay, yeah. The dum doodle 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 diddly doodle 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 dum diddly doodle 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 dum diddly doodle doodle diddly doodle doodle double dum diddly doodle dum doodle doodle diddle doodle dum the doodle doodle diddly doodle 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 dum diddly doodle 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 dum the doodle doodle diddly doodle 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 dum diddly doodle 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 do. Now,
Woo! My God, Padraig Howley, check him out on Instagram. Sing and Step with Padraig. Thanks a million for joining us.
you're very welcome. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Okay, have a nice day. Bye bye.